Off the top tonight, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz is stepping down from her post as chair of the Democratic Party. Her last day will be at the end of the week. The move comes after thousands of emails were leaked online.
Her resignation comes hours before the start of the Democratic convention in Philadelphia. Tonight, while the stage is set, Wasserman Schultz's role at the gathering of delegates is still unclear.
And protesters have been sounding off outside the arena where the convention will take place. Many of them Bernie Sanders supporters who are upset about what they have learned. Thousands of emails were leaked online showing that the Democratic Party was favoring Hillary Clinton over Bernie Sanders.
Hackers published the trove of emails, some 27,000 in all, and the messages are casting a shadow over a convention aimed at showing party unity. The majority of emails showed staffers at the DNC undermining and at times mocking the Bernie Sanders campaign. The messages were sent between January of last year and May of 2016. Wasserman Schultz released a statement late Sunday saying, quote, "I've been proud to serve as the first woman nominated by a sitting president as chair of the Democratic National Committee, and I am confident that the strong team in place will lead our party effective election to elect Hillary Clinton as our 45th president." Adding to the disarray for Democrats, allegations that the Russian government had a hand in the leak. For reaction, we go live to Philadelphia.
That's where we find Local 10 News reporter Glenna Milberg. She is live inside the Wells Fargo Center. That is the site of the Democratic Convention. Good evening, Glenna.
Cheyenne, Carlos, good evening. Yes, as a matter of fact, the Congresswoman and still at this moment the DNC chair was laying very low here in Philadelphia, but just literally 4 minutes ago, Debbie Wasserman Schultz was down here at the Wells Fargo Center appearing to meet with some aides. Not clear from, of course, this high up what they were talking about, but she appeared to be getting some sort of information. She looked like she was in a very good mood, laughing, touching her aides. Other than that, she has been keeping a very low profile. She even canceled a speech to the credentialing committee today. The delegates are now coming in for the opening tomorrow of the convention at 4 o'clock. And the people that we talked to today are just saying they'd like this whole drama over with, out of the public eye, so everyone can focus on Hillary Clinton. South Florida delegates got the news that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was resigning the party's chair as they landed in Philadelphia Sunday evening.
I think Congresswoman Schultz made the right decision in the context of the story has to be our Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton, not about anything else.
I know we'll recover quickly. She's been a great leader and done a lot of great things for the party, and then we'll move on and there'll be a new leader for the party.
That delegate support and optimism on Sunday could not overcome party leaders' fears of public discord and division disrupting the convention in the wake of hacked and leaked DNC emails indicating Wasserman Schultz used her party position to tip the scales for Hillary Clinton and against Senator Bernie Sanders in the primaries. Wasserman Schultz denied it repeatedly and to Local 10 last May.
You have a few anonymous, off-the-record people who are, who make comments.
I think we need a new chair who is going to lead us in a very different direction.
Sanders called for Wasserman Schultz's resignation while Republicans jumped on yet another email leak scandal dogging the Democrats. Her party bosses are sending her out, though, with praise. From President Obama, who named her chair 5 years ago, her fundraising and organization skills were matched only by her passion, her commitment, and her warmth. And from Hillary Clinton, whose campaign she is honorary chair, there's simply no one better at taking the fight to Republicans than Debbie. And outside the convention venue toward downtown Philadelphia, the streets of Philadelphia, the first of how many protests, we don't know, but certainly many expected today. Thousands of people at the count, thousands of people marching, mostly Bernie Sanders supporters. And I may tell you that this protest, this march, was prior to news that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was resigning her position as DNC chair. This was, by all accounts, a peaceful protest. There were police escorts, bicycle police, taking them through the streets. It is really hot here. There is a heat wave coming through the Northeast. A lot of people were sweltering, cooling off in open city fire hydrants, playing music, carrying signs. These are Bernie Sanders supporters that the Democrats really need to get on board. But according to this protest, at least, that's going to be a tough deal. Debbie Wasserman Schultz herself is still scheduled to gavel in, that is, open the convention at 4 o'clock tomorrow. She in the morning is scheduled to be at a breakfast with the Florida delegation, her delegation, our delegation, and by all accounts, she is still scheduled to appear. Of course, we will be there as well. Cheyenne, Carlos, I'm going to send it back to you.
Glenna, there's already talk of a possible impact in terms of her primary challenger here in South Florida and her congressional race, no?
Oh, absolutely. I think Tim Canova, her primary challenger, is watching this very closely. He did have some things to say. He did weigh in about the leaks, about her position, and you can be sure that everything that goes on in this convention with her anywhere near that stage and the reaction, he is going to be watching very closely. You can be sure you will be seeing that in some kind of opposition advertising. But this is a very, very important race for him. Debbie Wasserman Schultz has really never had a primary challenger, at least not one that polls so well against her. This is going to be a very tough race for her, and he is watching this very closely as well from back there in South Florida.
Lots more ahead. Glenna Milberg reporting live from Philadelphia. Thank you, Glenna.
And security is a top concern ahead of the DNC. The city's police chief talked about the security measures from its emergency management office. They include large fencing and barriers along streets to prevent a terror attack similar to the one that took place in Nice, France. Stay with Local 10 News for continuing coverage of the Democratic National Convention. Glenna will be joined by our senior political reporter Michael Putney for the entire event starting tomorrow. Look for their reports on Local 10 News and local10.com.
New details